Hi, everybody. Welcome to class. It's Mark, and I'll be working with you over the next 8 weeks in this very short student success in business class. Rather than post a bunch of announcements, I thought it would be easier just to record this video that you can watch. And this will be the first of a couple of videos that I'll do throughout our 8 weeks. I'm not going to do one every single week because the course is pretty straightforward, but I'll check back in with you from time to time. I looked at the gradebook this morning and I saw that at least a couple of students had already been in the class, and that's fantastic. I love to see that. Before we jump into the the class sessions, I thought I'd go over a couple of important pieces of information contained in course information, and that's where you will find the syllabus and the course calendar. There's my information, and notice, best way to stay in touch with me is by text message. Now, the only stipulation in this is that I'm teaching more than one online class, and I have a lot of students texting me, so when you send me a message, make sure you tell me your name and what class you're taking. That way I don't get you confused with somebody else. If you want to email me, of course you can send me a message there, but this is my preferred method of communication. Save that number, put it in your phone. Here is the syllabus, and you're going to want to print this out. Of course you can refer to it anytime on the screen, but if you print it out, you can make notes in the margins, you can highlight things. It's just more user-friendly that way. I'm going to not go through this entire thing because I know you're going to read it. I just want to point out a couple of things. I hope everyone stays in the class to the very end. Of course, that's our goal, but I also understand that life happens. Things get in the way sometimes, so if you do find yourself as someone who has to leave the class, there's the deadline to drop with a refund. And then, of course, the very last day to get out is February 25th. Again, I hope that doesn't happen to you, but it does from time to time, and I understand. And there is also the information on text messages and email. There are also course messages within the class. Don't use those. I don't check them. You'll never hear back from me, and that'll frustrate you. And that's not the point here. So print this out. Pretty good information. I think you'll see that this is not the most difficult class you will ever take. It's not a cakewalk either, but if you stay current, you're going to do just fine. Here is the course calendar. Now, I set this up a little differently, and we'll talk about this further when we get into the first two class sessions. Everything's due on Sunday night. Class always starts on a Monday, with the exception of Martin Luther King Day, which is a holiday. Class actually starts the following day, this coming Tuesday. But your assignments will always be due by 11:59 p.m., 1 minute before midnight on Sunday. The exception to that is there are some discussion boards, and I'll point these out to you when we actually go into a class session, where you have to post your initial reply by Wednesday. Because this is an 8-week course, we're still covering 16 units of content, but we're doing 2 per week. And that'll make a lot more sense as we go through. For example, we have session 1 and session 2, and notice they're both due by the same day because you're doing 2 each week. Print this off as well. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to put this video on pause for just a second so I can get back into Blackboard. And we're back. In all the years that I've been recording videos, I've never done that before where I ended Blackboard in the middle of talking. Oh well. First time for everything, right? We're going to go into class sessions and again look at sessions 1 and 2. And I think you'll see that the amount of work that has to be done is not hateful. We're going to session 1. Gee, look at that. It asks you to learn about the syllabus and the calendar. Well, I just showed you where they are and some of the important things on them, so you're money ahead. We're going to go down to learning activities. And there is a little primer on netiquette. Information on netiquette is one of your first assignments. A lot of this you probably already know, especially if you've taken online classes before. That's why I said this is not the most difficult class you will ever take. Let's go to the assignments and assessment. And here's what I was referring to before. Your first response is due Wednesday at 11:59, and then your response is Sunday at 11:59. And the first one's nice and simple, just an introduction discussion board. And you will notice throughout the course of the class, I don't get involved in the discussion boards very much, if at all. Doesn't mean I don't read them. I certainly do. Doesn't mean I'm not paying attention, but I want this to be a forum for students to talk to one another. And you can write anything about yourself using some of the following prompts, whatever you'd like. And here is the assessment on netiquette. Now, I'm not going to open this up right now because I'm trying to keep these short, but make sure you look at the link that I showed you previously. Do that first, then jump directly into this. You'll get a perfect score. No problem. So let's go into session 2. And yes, I am skipping over a few things. Again, I'm trying to keep these brief and to the point. Make sure you read through everything. Just because I don't point something out doesn't mean it isn't important. It means I'm counting on you. You're capable enough, you're a mature enough student to be able to ferret out those other details on your own. Let's look at learning activities. Again, another link that you need to open and read on setting and reaching goals. And then assignments and assessments. And you'll see that this looks remarkably similar. Most of these from week to week will be exactly the same. So we have a short and simple exercise on goal statements, an exercise on choosing a major. Make sure you print both of these out, this one and that one, follow them completely, and a third one listed right here. And notice that it asks you to locate 3 job postings, and in an outline format, you're not writing an essay, an outline format, list some of the skills that that position requires. 5 hard skills, 5 soft skills. As we all know in business, every successful person has a good mixture of both. I think we've covered all of the major things for this video. I'll post it here in announcements in just a few minutes. And the reason I like doing videos, if you want to go back and watch any of these for whatever reason, rather than reread the announcements, you can just simply watch them again. They're all in YouTube. Again, welcome to class, everyone. This class is really going to move quick. It's only 8 weeks, but we're still covering 16 units of content. In a 16-week course, sometimes you have the luxury of maybe not getting everything done in a week, and you can always catch up. That's not the case in an 8-week class. You've really got to stay current, and I know you will. Best way to stay in touch with me, as I've mentioned, 57 times already, is by text message. 812-498-4200. Make sure you tell me who you are, what course you're taking, and I'll try and respond as promptly as I can. Welcome to class, everyone. Let's make it a great semester. Take care.